right, cool. All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Damon as usual. Today we're going to be doing some API integrations. And at the end of this, you'll be able to just demonstrate how you can retrieve API data with REST client. You'll be able to parse some JSON data, and also you'll be able to integrate API data into a command line app. All right. So here, I'm gonna just give you guys a preview of what we're gonna create today. So I have a command line app built out already. Welcome to my app. Please enter your name. So I enter my name. It says, hi, Damon, do you rock Rick and Morty? I'm gonna push yes. It says, awesome, please choose a character from list. So what happens is now is via my API call, I'm actually bringing all the data into my command line app. So I don't have to put any of it into my database or none of that yet. I'm just bringing all the character names in. So I choose a character with a number, let's see, like 13. Cool, so it says now, would you like to view an image of this character? So I'm gonna say yes, so we can keep this ball rolling, and bam, and I get to see an image. And this is all data coming from the API. I'm not having to save any of this data into a database. I'm just using the API for what it's made for, basically. So you don't have to do like any, this lesson won't be like about any manual seeding or any of that stuff, which most of you might have done, or maybe you just copy data and put it into and seed it yourself. This won't be that. This is a much easier way of showing you how to get your API data into your app, essentially. So here, I'm gonna make a directory, and let's do, just do API. And I'm gonna touch a app file, app.rb, and I'm also go ahead and touch a get data.rb. You know, we're gonna keep this simple. Get data.rb. Cool. So let's open this up. All right. So if you've been in any of my lessons, what I like to do first before we even get started and I start explaining stuff, I like y'all to take like a minute and a half, 2 minutes to research how I would do a GET request with REST client, and then also how I can parse JSON data. You guys check that out, and then just take some notes, write some stuff down, because I'll actually after these 2 minutes. So I'm gonna throw up a timer here. Since it's not that many of us, I'll give us like a minute 30. Oh goodness. Sorry. Bam. So just figure out like how we can do a GET with REST client, and then how can we parse JSON data. That's gonna be the two essential things that we do today. Do we not have whiteboards in here? Oh, we do. We should connect to this JBL and play some music. All right, 45 seconds left. Twenty more seconds. All So, right on your whiteboard is how what does the get method look like for REST client to get data? Just write it down if you found it. So what is the method? What does the method look like through REST client to get data to do a get request? Were you not able to find anything? Yep, that's it. So just write it down just for purposes of this activity. And it kind of helps your brain remember it better when you write stuff down. That's one of the things that kind of sucks for what we do. We code all the time. That's not technically writing stuff down, so you get so used to your computer remembering stuff that you might forget.
I like to write it, but some people talk too fast and think
True. Well, if I talk too fast, let me know, because I know. Okay, awesome. I know I have a habit of mumbling, so. But yeah, so could you say that again out loud for Zach in the back as well?
REST client.get, and then whatever the URL is for the API. And I also have JSON.parse.
Cool. Yeah, that was gonna be my.
We've already said the variable for REST client, I suppose.
Yep. That was gonna be my next question for. You got something back there too? Check it out. Okay. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so doing a GET request with REST client is like literally that simple. REST client dot get, put the URL in. That's gonna give us data. So first thing we got to do though is we got to require REST client, and then we'll go ahead and require JSON as well. And I am going to do a gem install REST client. Just to make sure we got that. JSON's already built into Ruby, so that's something that you don't have to worry about ever installing. You can just require it. And I'm sorry, do not follow up what I'm doing here. Put that into the get data file. We're gonna have this separate file to handle all our methods for grabbing data.
So we have two files, app and then get data.
App and get data, yep. And these require REST client and JSON and get data, because that's where we'll do all those methods. So we don't have to jumble up our app file. Cool. And then so I'm gonna set a variable here. So let's do add data. And so let's do REST client dot get. And then let's get this API URL. So I'm gonna use this Rick and Morty API again, because I enjoy what they have in here that we can use. I'm gonna Slack this out to you guys again.
Do you like Rick and Morty?
I do.
Do you like your shirt?
I do. Nice. I actually had I found a, what's it called, like ASCII, like image to ASCII converter, and I had took like a image of Rick and converted it to code basically, and I had that popping up in my app, but it was like so big that I was like, I'm not gonna jumble up. It's pretty awesome. All right, cool. So that is the link that we're gonna use. And commonly, what you kind of want to do is before we even do this request, I'm gonna set a variable for our base URL. Sorry, it's right in Ruby terms here. So base URL, we're gonna set that equal to this API address. This way that we can just call a base URL, and anything that we add onto the end, we can use all over the place without having to write the HTTPS out everywhere. So we got that going. And then in this this data variable, REST-client.get, we'll just go ahead and throw in here at base URL. Cool. Now I'm going to turn this into a method. So def get data. In that. Cool. And then so I'm going to get data back, and actually I'll just kind of go ahead and show what that looks like. Let's do get data. Class variable. Oops, I did make sorry. Do not mind me, I'm still getting used to this Ruby. And then I do self dot get data, right? No, I think I could just call it like that. Okay. Anybody know how I can fix this error?
Don't make it a class variable or a class method. Get rid of self dot
I think it's the same error though.
Yep. Yeah.
Can we make a class?
Yeah, let's do that. So what can I do? Like class, what, get data, and then and then we can do what, get data. Let's try that out. Something happened. Let's do a puts data just to look at it. Bam. So we got some API data showing up in our terminal here by just putting it in with that. You do want to make like the way you guys are learning right now. You want to make classes for everything. My apologies, I keep forgetting, so not used to it, but yeah, make classes, just it makes everything a lot easier. So we got this data back. Thing is though, we're not gonna be able to access anything in there because it's not a JSON. You're not gonna be able to use, so it comes back as an object but not a hash, and in order to access like data and other keys that are in there and their values, we'll need to turn that into a JSON. So let's do at data, and how do we write that that JSON parse method? Can you just walk me through it? Is it capitals or can I write it like this?
all caps.
All caps? Cool. Parse. And what goes in the inside? Cool. So I was wrong here, right?
Yes, I figured that was
Okay, cool. Definitely. So I'm gonna just do that there. Let's change this into, let's name it like response or something. That way that we can get this back and we can actually look at our response. Because if you just run like puts JSON parse data, it's pretty much gonna look the same, and you won't be able to tell if it's a JSON or not. So I'm gonna do puts response, and then I'm gonna just try to look at this API and see what keys are inside of it. Let's go here. So we got we got characters, we got locations, and we have episodes. Why does my screen look so wide? Cool. So let's try to get this key. Puts response. Let's do characters. Oh, did you mean respond? Respond. What did I do here? Let's see. We got get data. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, I did spell it wrong. All right, let's see. Cool. So now what we get back is just that the value of that key, right? So as you can see in that app that I was running beforehand, I was pulling back like all the character names and just posting that to the CLI interface. So let's change our base URL to characters, slash characters, because we'll just go ahead straight into characters. That way we don't have to worry about going an extra layer to dig for data right now. So we can do add characters here. That way we'll go straight into characters, and then when we get our response back, I'm just gonna put in here name, because I'm guessing that might be a thing. And I might be wrong. So let's see. Bam, I am wrong, because I'm guessing. So how could I find out what's actually inside of the the API that I can like actually access? How do I find that?
Go to the URL.
Say again?
Go to the URL and take a look at the JSON.
So take a look at the API, right? Like that's like bare bones, like basic, but essentially the docs, right? The docs will tell you what you can see inside of everything, how you can access, different layers inside the database. So I'm gonna go into character, see what keys I have here. So it looks like I have info. This thing is acting so weird. Let me do this. There we go. So I got info, I have results. Inside of results, it looks like I have ID, name, status, all that. So in order to get all the character names into our command line app, what I would do instead of digging more and creating more variables, so I would go into characters, and then once I get that information back, I would do like data results, and then inside of results, I could set that to a variable, and then get all the character names, like do a for each, and go in and grab the names out, right? So that would look something like, our response is gonna be response results here. Let me run that to make sure it's right. Cool. So now I'm like getting all the characters out, and it's a lot of junk right here. But as you can see, like in our first hash that's coming back, we already can see like ID and name. So now I just want to dig a layer deeper. And in order to do that, I'm gonna create let's create a method of get characters. And what we'll do here is we'll get, let's go into response. You know what, actually, I'm sorry, I didn't make this a class variable, response, so I wouldn't be able to access that later. Let me go ahead and do that. And then let's do response results. Each do, and then we'll do for each character, and we could write if I'm doing it each and I'm trying to grab the name out of each one of these results, like what would that method kind of look like? I know I already started it off here, but I kind of just want to get some interaction, so how would I like continue on to do that? Essentially, I have response results gives me back all the results of all the characters, right? So I can see it here. I want to go inside of these results for each one, and I want to grab the name out. So what would that method look like? Cool. You say.
Are we scrolling through all the results, not all the characters? So we need to go a layer deeper. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Well, this is what our results look like right now, right? So our results is a hash of pretty much every character name. Yep. So I just named a character to like make it easy. So each result. So we're going for each result. We're going to look at each character basically, and we want to pull out their name. So you were writing right. You said you're not getting all the characters. Let me check it out. changed it and I don't think I said anything. Yeah, so yeah, I took it off. That's my bad. I put characters in there because I'm all over the place. Did it work though after that? Yeah. Let's see. It worked? Cool.
Yes.
So nice. You got insiders over there?
Huh?
I said you got insiders over there?
Good what?
Insiders, like inside jokes?
Oh, with Rick and Morty?
That's what you're doing, like the yes? Like, I'm sorry. Maybe I mixed it up. Let's skip all that. Oh, that's on the recording too. Alright, so what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna go ahead and take out this puts response so we don't keep getting all this like janky JSON data in our terminal. And I have for each response that we get back of results, we're gonna look at the character, we're gonna pull out the name. So we're gonna put the name down. And let's see what that does. Look at that. Oh, nothing happened. Oh, no wonder. Let me call this method dot get underscore characters. And that should do it for us. Nope. I have an undefined method get characters. True. Thank you. Working for any of y'all? Okay, cool. Bam. All right, it worked for me. Finally. Okay, so as you can see, this is like for everything you guys know up to this point. Could you see how we could basically like integrate this into our command line app? Yeah. So let's do that. So look, instead of having this puts, actually we'll leave the puts. Let's just not call that get characters method just yet. Let's go on our app.rb. To get access to those methods, what are we going to need to do in our app.rb? Yeah, you got it. Get data.rb. Cool. And then let's do something like welcome to my app. Right? Put what is your name? And you don't have to follow mine directly. You can put whatever kind of cool jargon you want to do in yours. What's your name? And I'm gonna set a variable here for gets chomp so I can get their response back. Gets.chomp. And then we're gonna go ahead and do a puts. What does that look like? Something like this. Now none of this code is gonna work yet. Can anybody tell me why? Well, I did the same thing with the last file too. What kind of variables am I making here? Yeah, class variables. And what don't I have?
No class.
I got no
You
class.
don't have any.
I don't have no class. Well, thank you, Sarah. You made me feel so good about myself.
I'm sorry. That's not what I'm here for.
So we're gonna make a class. Let's see. Class app, and let's do it. Put name hello. Let's do that, and just to run it, see if everything goes as planned. Oop, I'm running the old file. Let's do ruby app.rb. Oh, what is your name? I'm gonna say Damon, because that's what my mom calls me. Bam, and we get hello Damon back, right? Now let's do some cool stuff and all that, and those methods that we ran for get data, let's go ahead and bring those in. And do something with it. So I'm gonna do hello Damon. Do you watch Rick and Morty. And let's prompt them to say yes or no. We're gonna do a response equals gets chomp. Gets.chomp. And let's do an if statement so that we can make sure like we get that response back. So if add response equals yes, then we're gonna say here. Oh, I'm gonna put here are a list of characters. Choose one. And so, just a wild guess. How would I dynamically create that list of characters upon this response? So if they say yes, how would I make that list of characters pop up? Call method, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So what would that look like? Actually, don't say it out loud. Write it down on your boards and throw it up high so I can see it. Tim, you're welcome to participate. I was just kidding. As soon as you got it, just go ahead and raise it up in the air. Bam. Nice. Good job, y'all. So let's do get data dot get underscore characters. Cool. Did I write that right?
That's right.
Yeah. Cool. So let's check it out. Oops. Run my app. Name's Damon. Do I watch Rick and Morty? Yes. Ugh. Uninitialized class variable response in app. Dude, I did it again, y'all. I spelled respawn twice. I don't know. I guess that's a word today for whatever reason. Maybe I've written response way too much. So let's try this again. Let's pretend I know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna edit all these parts out, and I'm just gonna do like the finalized thing so we just get faster. But look at that. Bam, we have integrated API data into our command line app. Yay! Yep, some claps. Cool. So I know most of y'all like kind of have probably been doing this totally different with your project, and probably like seeding data or copying a bunch of data and then put it into your database and all that stuff. Great practice, super pointless if you already have this awesome database and API on the web, available to you. You easily can just write methods and add in different things. And then what you could do is once they make a selection, so say you prompted them to pick a name, right? And you just wanted them to, you wanted to put that name in as like a doppelganger or a personality inside of a database that contains like every student's name, right? Essentially what you can do is once they give their answer back, you can use that gets chomp, set it to a variable, right? And then put it into your database the same way you've been doing with all the mock data, basically, that you got back from API. So this just makes it a lot easier, where you don't have to put all this into a database since it's already in one, and you can just make calls and do different things. So what I want to do next is kind of have you guys just to kind of see, make sure you kind of can follow that. Make a call to the database, give me a new thing of information, right? Go into your app RB, make a command line interaction to pull that data, and then post a response to me in Slack. Can you follow that? Should I put it on the board? All right, cool.
We're just doing what you just did right now.
Basically, yeah. So make a call to the API, to the Rick and Morty API. Just instead of getting the characters, get a new form of data, something else back, make a command line interaction where that data comes back, and then copy the output and paste it into Slack. And I'll write it up here on the board, actually. I'll write it up. Dude, is there no way to make Notepad bigger? That kind of sucks. Here, I'm gonna just write this in my codex.
To make it bigger,
Yeah.
you gotta go to the text format.
You said go to format?
Font.
Oh, like just make I can only make the font bigger? I think that's like command. Okay, yeah, true. I thought I could like zoom. Cool. So. See what happens. And so basically you want to be inside of so you want to make it route. So instead of going to character, you want to go to absolute, or you want to pull absolute from that character. Oh, I kid.
I'm doing alright. So I'm trying to get episode name. So I have this, and I'm going to call it right here. But my thing is, so I have the base URL. I'm a little confused as to what to do with this, if I'm wanting to go to the episodes instead of the characters.
Yeah.
Does that make
So
sense?
you wouldn't want to change the base URL, right? So
Right.
we want to keep that going to the API. So do you want to go into characters, or do you want to go into episodes? Like what's it
Episodes.
from that base URL, right?
Yes.
Cool. So let's look at the base URL.
Okay. So it's that, and then, let's see, episode. Okay.
Cool. So what you could do is
we want to do an episode, so write a new URL. And just like that, just do base URL for your variable. And attach it at the end, basically. Episode. Remember that? So it's gonna be left hands.
Oh, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you can write it to and then you run straight.
So, okay.
So put response results isn't gonna work anymore because that was inside the character. So we want to see what's inside of it. So, and it might be results, but let's check the URL. So inside, so results is our. So now we're going into wait, what's that character? Oh, that's us.
So going to results and then going into episode. Okay. So this gets us to the results part.
Yep. So that's gonna get us all that.
And then when we utilize these methods like get character or get episode name, that is when we change this.
We're looking through. Nope.
No.
Don't
Results. Okay.
Yep. Or if you set a variable that, you know, you can change the variable. But since we have response results here, we're just gonna go ahead and go into results. Now that is equal to episode. Well, here it won't be because we want to change that to episode URL.
Okay.
And normally you would want to like create a whole method that's gonna get episode data.
Right. That's what that is.
Yeah.
We create a new get data. So it would be like get episode data,
Yeah,
get
episode data.
character data. Like
Yeah.
we would do a new method for each.
Yep.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't want to change like say you need to go back and use the base URL again.
Right.
You wouldn't want to change that.
Okay, so let's say I just want to keep this like getting character data. So these two work together, correct? Okay. So get episode data. And let's erase this one out. And then so the data is playing at
And if we're gonna change this to get character data, I'll create a variable for character data. That way, I don't want character data to go into character data. Because the base URL is gonna give you character, episode, and
Let me stop that.
oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So I'm gonna take character off here.
Is it character?
Man. See, so this is the base URL, right? It's giving us character. This is really small, sorry.
Yeah.
It's giving us character, location, and episode. So if you're gonna wanna, manipulate that in any kind of way, I'll write it up here. So you wanna do character data, right?
Yeah.
So let's do character underscore URL, which is equal to, and we'll do base URL. And we'll pipe on character. On my base.
Yeah. Right.
So for what I just did, if I wanted to make sure I'm getting that data still here, I'll change this down here, this variable to character URL. And my apps will work exactly the same. If it doesn't, then something's messed up. So let's see, Damien, you watch me recording? Yes. Bam. So I'm still getting character data. Yep. And I would normally just put that into a new method. So actually, I'll do that for the sake of the lecture. So let's do dev self dot get character data. I'll take everything that's in there and this is his. There we go. Character data is REST client that goes to character URL. Let's change this to oops. Yeah, I'll just do that. Characters. Cool. And over here, I'll do get characters. So I'll call get character data here instead. Oops. What did I do?
Did you have to change your response in the get data method? Like I had a response with JSON that parse right there?
Yeah, so I changed this because that response variable is it's set to what it is right now. Basically, it's set to data from get data, so it's set to that base URL, whatever we got back from there. And I don't want to change that because I still want to have access to that data too. So down here, I'm just making a different variable for the data we're getting back from character data. So then characters should go strictly to character data. But I did something wrong, so let me see what happened here. Oops. Breakout size, get data, get characters. Uninitialized class variable response and get data. Oh. So I gotta change the one in get characters that's gonna actually like print each character name. I'm gonna have to change that over to characters now. And everything should work. Let's see. Cool. So all I did was refactor it. Since you guys were having to write new methods too, I just refactored that to I have the base URL that's getting data, and then I set a new method that's getting just character data. So it's still going to the API, and now I'm just getting all those characters back and printing it to my console through the command line interaction. So if y'all got yours working, Slack out your responses so I can check it out. Your interaction, rather. Or I can just come by and check it out.
You get it working?
No, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going here. URL equals 20. So this get data method, this looks like a data method, is that like that needs to stand on its own for now? Because that's how you get what?
Yeah, so the get data method, that one I'm not gonna call it anymore because I'm strictly just trying to get like character data. But if I was gonna do something with the data I get back from get data as well, then I would call it that.
Okay.
But I'm not calling it now, so let's see what we got here.
Something's not working.
Let's see where what error did you get? Okay. So where's response? Oh, you don't have it. Okay, so you're calling this method probably in your actual app. Let's see this. Yeah. Let's check it out. So what we got here? Here, Sam 449 found. So it's not even that. It's not showing it. Let's look at your method. Get character data. So this is the one where we're trying to put in. So we're putting characters. Results. So yeah, base URL over here for character at the end. So that's what we're running through. Get the data coming back. Okay, so you want your part. You want parse. Yeah. Okay. So you have data. And this doesn't seem to be happening. Character details.
4 character, it's kind of stuck on there, so it's probably some episodes like
There
that.
it is. I just like character.
Yep. Okay.
I
Cool.
see, alright.
Yeah. So Ron Robbins.
Here, I'll just pump this up for
If
now.
you plus instead of shovel, you won't have that issue.
Plus.
Just like this.
Just like that.
Let's see, those looks are awesome.
Cool. So that works. And then you can, do your look through results. Yeah, so like kind of, so you can call that methods actually. Show you guys. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
Yeah, I did some shovels and lines, but in my one earlier, and I didn't have that error. But it's probably because I only did it one time.
Right.
Yeah. So cool. Thanks for that tip, though. Was it double plus or just a plus?
Just one plus.
Cool.
Just concatenation. Or you can use interpolation.
Okay.
Instead of shovel.
Gotcha. For sure.
Now it works.
You say you did that? Yeah, I got it. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Just from wherever you start pulling your data, just copy and paste it in there. Cool. So what data did you bring back here? Episodes? Nice. All right, cool. Well, I mean, so you all demonstrated how we can retrieve data from API with REST client, as well as parse that JSON data and incorporate it into your own command line interaction and command line app. That's pretty much it. After this, try to do it with your projects too. So some of the things that you may have copied data and already seeded it into your database. Try to just make some calls, and then based on what the user does, insert that data into your database. Just try that out. What questions do you have for me?
You watch Rick and Morty?
Yeah, for sure. My friend put me on it a long time ago. Back when we was using, what is that? I don't want to say any cheat ways to watch free episodes, so I'll tell you after. Yeah. All good? Do you guys feel like you understand this pretty well? Or if you have any questions, like, just Slack me after, Slack me later, and we can definitely dig into it. Let me stop this.